Hello again and welcome to another episode of the TryPod NRL Betting Podcast, and this week we will preview round 17 and we have a very special guest with us today.
Lego!
Lego! Hello all. It's a huge week this week, and we've got a very, very special guest with us today, the one and only Mckenzie Sirmon.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
First ever female guest.
It's a pleasure to have you, Kens. It's a groundbreaking moment for us.
It is. I'm happy to be here.
So
Glad to be
those
the
of
one.
you who don't know Kens, she's kind of the brains behind the operation. We've said before that this is not a two-man operation. We've got a whole team working behind us, and there's a famous saying that a man is only as strong as the woman behind him.
Oh no!
And I know for a fact that it's one of both his ultimate fantasies for a long time to have a woman behind him.
This is gonna be the worst episode that we've ever brought you guys. I'll tell you that now.
So Kens is our marketing manager. She's a marketing major from Boise State in America, which is awesome for us because we're trying to crack into the American market.
Yeah, and just had a bit of a tour in America, just spreading the word.
How did the people react over there? Because they love the NFL over there.
They do. The rugby is up and coming in the States, but the one thing that I found that the market doesn't have there yet, there's a lot of space for getting into that market, improving it, is the online gambling.
Yes.
Nobody gambles like you Aussies. So there's a lot of space to really jump into that market, open some betting apps.
Yeah, true.
All
it's
of
true
it.
Because it's only illegal in a couple of states and a couple of kind of districts there.
Only in Nevada, basically.
Pretty much there, but
and maybe Atlantic City, but because it will
Indian reserves and stuff.
And it's true, and I think it will grow, and it's definitely growing everywhere because if people can't gamble in their own state in America, they're going to do it offshore illegally.
That's true.
Online.
But not only can they not gamble in most places, but they can't do it from the comfort of their own home. They can't do it like Heathy doing something entirely different without even watching the game, just pop it on his phone.
Yeah.
And thousands of dollars
gone.
What
kind of existence is that?
What kind of stuff would Heathy be doing while he's gambling?
But I think I really appreciate you going on that tour for us because we're the number one NRL betting podcast in Australia right now, but we need to break into that American market.
Yeah.
And we're really we're over 200 likes now, and we've come a long way from where we began.
Yep.
But we've been kind of brainstorming. Like, you're our marketing manager. Like, have you got any ideas? How do we? I think the people that we've reached generally have responded well. We give the people what they want, but how do we get more reach?
A lot of good feedback. Oh man, there's so many ways to go about it. We've got advertising
without spending any money. Okay,
we're drawing a blank.
Now, I've got a couple of ideas. You know how when you're driving and people like advertising pizza and they're holding those big billboards on the side of the road? Like, what if we had like a big blow up of like our heads, the tripod, like on Coronation Drive, Milton Road, like Bruce Highway, just like waving that around.
What are you making this out of?
Oh, that's not. Well, we'll figure that out. But I think I'm not saying every day, but like we could take turns every second day. We stand on the side of the highway. People driving home, they see that.
Like we just we knock off work. And then we do it sort of...
You could probably hire some, 15-year-old kids to just buy them a pizza at the end of the day, have them sit out there and wave some signs all afternoon.
Even better, because, no one takes notice when it's just, a dude waving a pizza sign around. But if it's, a chick or something, in a bikini, Kens...
Ken's the screwing his face up right now.
They look at that kind of stuff.
Kens, look, if you didn't
why the fuck would that be any different?
If you didn't like that idea...
Nah, on the highway and stuff,
All right.
I don't know. Seems to get a little bit more attention.
Do you really want
not you.
Do you really want that kind of image?
Well, yeah, it's like
come
NRL,
on, man.
It's the bloke's game.
And this is the thing. Before we go any further into it, we should mention that this is a huge pod. Ken's not only is our marketing manager, but also is a long-term partner of both us.
Sounds like we're gay.
Well, it's topical that week. This week. But we've got both are in Ken's, or just to save time, we call them both ends. So we're gonna be doing perfect partners. We're gonna find out this is
gonna be horrible.
Find out some secrets there because people listen to the pod to get best bets, but I think people want a bit more. We want to give the people what they want, and there's no bigger bet in life than choosing someone to be in a relationship with.
True.
Except for that bet I had in the Dragons contest. But we won't talk about that.
We won't talk about
and we've
that
obviously
today.
got, we're going to talk about put your tip where your mouth is.
It is a
take on
huge
Tom
round
BMoz.
this week.
We've got heaps more best bets. We had 12 last week. Talk about Ev Sanity. So much to get through.
Yep.
But want to pick your brain on one more idea. I've got a killer idea for us. Okay.
Give it to
What
me.
is an app out there that heaps of young single people are using right now?
Tinder.
Okay. Do you guys have Tinder?
No.
This is a missed
No.
opportunity. That was a slow answer, wasn't it? Not that
Nah, I don't have it.
Okay. I need you guys to get Tinder. You put as your photos the
Only
tripod
pod.
and like winning bet slips, and you put it as like open to men and women. So, and then that's free advertising. People be scrolling through Tinder. It gets monotonous, just selfie after selfie, and then all of a sudden, what's this? The tripod.
How does it work? Once you swipe someone away, you can't ever
You
see
never
them again.
get them again.
Ooh,
Don't make
what if
that
you
mistake.
accidentally?
If you swipe, you
could have been your soulmate.
It could be the future.
So
mother of
you
your
obviously
children.
can't change your profile picture to that.
I would do it too. Tinder's not doing me any
You
favors.
might have more luck. You could have more luck.
Yeah, I'll
doing it
probably
that
get
way.
more likes that way. Yeah. What do
No,
you guys
that's fair
reckon?
enough.
No, seriously, you guys gonna do that? I reckon it's a really good idea.
What if we get matched and someone's like,
there's some sick people on Tinder. Like, there's probably gonna be people that will like you and then suggest
you look like the Dalai Lama in your picture. I want to fucking.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
that's the
do
risk that we're
something
gonna
to
take. Well, don't get fired. But all right,
Thanks.
food for thought, I suppose.
Yeah.
Seriously,
We'll think about it.
I was
How
on
many
there the other
people?
night.
What sort of ratio are you thinking will swipe right on something like that?
I mean, if you look at
Because they're not going to want to talk to it.
if I just look at
Talk to us.
look
Nah,
at me,
definitely not.
look what I look like.
Yep.
If I can get people to swipe right on me,
Do you?
I've had triple figures.
Triple figures.
Tinder.
100 out of 10,000 ain't bad.
Yeah, you can say that.
True.
All right, let's not make the people wait any longer.
Yeah, righto. Let's get on with this. We got to give the people.
What do we give them?
Give the people what they want.
want.
That was good, Ken.
It's time
What
for
do you
Perfect
think?
Partners.
Why do you think
Ken's is
that's a good
absolutely
idea?
shocking.
That's a great idea.
All right, let's get right into it. Hopefully you know how Perfect Partners works. You might have seen it on the footy show. We're going to do it for the first time here. Could be an unmitigated disaster.
Yes, it will be.
Or this could be the first of many.
Yeah,
So,
sure. All right.
Let's go.
Write us in if you want to be the next
Yeah.
contestants.
Hannah and Johnny.
Sophie and Ethy.
This is going to be shit.
Okay.
All right, well, I'm going to be scoring, kind of facilitating, and Ken's is going to be asking you some questions, and she can't cheat on the answers because she's already pre-recorded
Yep.
them. Of course, you don't know what the questions are going to be, Alex, and I know you've been pretty nervous. You look almost kind
I
of
look
sweaty.
pale.
Sweaty.
I feel ill.
As I've said before, like, if you've got
This
nothing
game
to
breaks
hide,
up relationships.
If you've got nothing
It's
to hide,
not
then
that bad.
you've got nothing to be worried about,
Yeah, righto.
So
Let's get on with this.
yeah, no.
Okay.
Let's get
I'm
into
going to
it.
get 7 from 7. How many questions are there?
I think there's 9. We'll
9.
see.
All right.
Okay. All right.
5 out of 9
Now-
ain't bad.
Now, okay. Sounds good. All right. First question. How long have we been going out, and what is the date of our anniversary?
This is a stitch up.
Come on, it's the first basic thing.
That shouldn't be a stitch up.
All right. We've been going out for a little over 4 years, about 4 years and a few months. And the date of our anniversary is the 30th. I know it's the 30th. The 30th of March. Bam!
30th March. All right, let's see what the answer was.
Alex and I have been together for coming up on 4.5 years.
Nice.
We started
Yes.
going out March 30th.
Yes! One
It's on
from
the board.
one. Let's
Okay.
go.
All right, nice one. All right, number 2.
You had to get that one.
That was
Shit,
tough.
well,
Did they
you didn't
get,
make
did
it
they get
past
worse
that
from here?
That was
4.5
Starting
years,
off
that's a
easy.
long time.
yeah, no
Yeah.
kidding, right?
Well
Yeah.
done.
Well, what would you rate my cooking out of 10?
I would rate Ken's cooking an There's no easy way. There's no easy answer to this. Is there?
tell
I would rate Kenza's cooking. I think what I would give her is probably a little bit higher than how she rates herself. So I think Kenza would probably answer an 8.
We're looking for 8.
What would he rate my cooking out of a 10? Well, it better be a 10, but it's probably a 7.
Oh.
He always says that no one can be a 10 out of 10 in anything.
It's
Jeez,
true.
that's too high.
Nah, that is true, actually. I do always say no one can be a 10 out of 10. Because
That's
there was
fair.
always the boys at, like, Boise State. They'd be like, oh, that chick's a 10. And I'd be like, it's impossible. You can't be a 10.
Great White Buffalo.
Yep.
You can't be more than a 10 out of 10. You can be a 10.
No, you
but
can't.
you can't be like people that are like, oh, 110%. Settle
Yeah,
down.
that's
That's not
mathematically
possible.
impossible.
That's Guffrington
Yeah.
Stanley.
All right. What is...
7.
Okay, we're on number 3. I mean, that's 7. Okay, whatever. What is the most romantic thing you've ever done for me? Or in general. It just says what's the most romantic thing you've ever done.
Obviously it's implied
Oh,
for
in that
you.
case, if it's not for
It
me,
shouldn't be.
if it's not for me, I change my answer.
It should be for you.
Nah.
Have you done more romantic things?
Yes!
Ken's thinks I have.
Okay.
Fucking German?
Alright, stick to the topic. Oh, shoot.
Let's
I
just
do so many, it's hard to keep count,
yeah,
you know?
must be.
You know how I feel? I'd say... the most romantic thing.
Really
I've done.
riveting radio we're producing.
Yeah, this is absolutely
Get on with
Whatever
it.
comes to mind.
You have to just pop whatever comes to your mouth.
Alright,
First.
the first time I took you out on a date to Panda Garden after 9 months that we were dating and I hadn't gone on a date yet.
Okay.
And I shouted.
You took your girlfriend out for dinner and paid. That's pretty
Yeah.
romantic. Let's see.
The most romantic thing he's ever done
That's wrong.
was probably to surprise me with a trip to Australia Zoo the day before I went on my holiday back to the States, because he knew I wanted to go for ages before I went home, so he made sure it happened.
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah.
That's a nice
And
one.
didn't you
Shit,
get
that's
some
not very
orchids?
good, eh?
Didn't you get some orchids the other day as well?
I've
Orchids ain't cheap.
Nope. There you can see them right there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
beautiful thing.
okay.
That's-
Let's keep this rolling.
What is my favorite feature of yours? Stop biting your nails.
well, it would be something that's not appropriate for Reed.
Shut
Okay,
Would it,
no,
though?
never
Would
mind,
it?
never
Would
mind.
it?
Something that I can see.
Probably have to say
That rules out.
my cooking.
What?
Wait, or is it facial? Is it
No,
feature
it
of?
was meant to be like body, I think. Oh no, feature could be anything. So that's fine.
It's the cooking.
You've said cooking.
My favorite feature of Alex's... definitely his legs.
Legs.
I love a good man thigh.
What?
Like a thicep.
Man,
Yeah.
man thigh.
I
My
did
fave.
go for a ride today, actually. So
Yeah.
Oh, nice one.
keeping it going.
Dang, I can't actually remember what I answered for this next one.
Oh no.
Are we up to number 5?
Yeah, we are.
Oh well. We'll find out soon enough. What's the question?
What's your worst habit?
Oh, I know. Okay, I got this one. It's biting my nails.
Looking for biting nails.
Okay, Alex's worst habit is that he will have a whole conversation about, say for example, whole conversation planning what we're going to do on Sunday, talk about it for a whole day, and then Saturday comes around and he says, so, did you want to go do something on Sunday? Like we never even talked about doing anything in the first place.
Come on, man.
That's
That
bad.
happens so much.
It happened like an hour ago.
It's all the
Sometimes
time.
I just zone out in my own little
We'll
world.
spend an entire day organizing a plan, and then you're like, so did you want to do something later then? I'm like, what the hell did we
Useless,
just
eh?
talk about for ages?
Yeah.
I've got to say, it's been pretty mild answers so far. I mean, worst habit, that could have been a lot worse, you know. You could have been like chronic masturbator or something. But
Nah, that's not my worst habit.
oh, okay.
Biting nails is way worse
Yeah.
than
Yeah,
True.
you have less worse habits now than you did back at uni.
Shudder
close to me.
to think.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, no.
Carry on. What is the first? Oh, I think I read this as the best present. But what's the first present you bought me? First present.
It probably was a plant.
And what's the best you ever bought, Ken's?
Probably a plant.
No.
We're looking for a plant.
The first present he ever bought me Well, the first date we ever went on was to the lunch special at Panda Garden, a little Chinese restaurant in Boise.
Only took 9 months.
So that was very special. I think he spent $7.50 on me. But he's actually really good at presents. The first present, geez, probably some sort of orchid.
Yes.
He also has gotten me a popcorn maker and a lovely diamond necklace as well. So he's done quite well.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
jeez.
yes.
He's spoiled.
We'll show
I'll give you a correct.
Thank you.
Give
I
it
will
to
take a
orchid,
correct for that.
Harry.
Getting something back.
Is that
See?
2 from
See?
6? That's bad, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, that's okay. Moving right along. Okay, this is...
This is starting to look like our betting record.
What is the most embarrassing thing I've ever caught you doing? I just was debating on telling this story.
You told it. You obviously re-recorded it and told it. So I'm only 2 from 6. I want to get it right.
Get it right here.
Ken's is working late at the diner. It's home alone. So I decided to do some self-barbecuing.
Oh, no.
And Ken's got home from work early, didn't hear the door open, and she sprung me. I shut the laptop, put it under the covers, and I was sprung. Put the tongs down.
If you shut the laptop and put it under the cover, how did she know you were doing it?
Because the sound didn't turn off.
Oh, no. What sound was coming out of the laptop?
Gorilla noises.
Gorilla noises.
Oh, you
What?
are
Squirrel,
sick.
because you're barbecuing.
You are sick.
Oh.
You are sick.
Oh,
Alright,
no.
let's see if Ken remembers that as the most embarrassing thing as well.
The most ridiculous thing that I've ever walked in on was one time Alex and I had been together like a year or so, and one day I came over to his house and I walk in and he's just sitting there in the living room doing homework, wearing jeans and a t-shirt, everything totally normal day except that his full bare ass was hanging out. And I was like, what the hell are you doing? And he's like, what's wrong? And he honestly did not know that his entire ass was just hanging out in the middle of the room.
Oh,
I can't believe I told that story.
And
Yeah.
now they know
Sick.
2 embarrassing
Oh, my
stories.
I
God.
cannot believe I told that
Oh, my
story.
God.
I see. That's the thing. I didn't want to go that far and tell that story.
But that would have been
But
your
that-
first answer.
That story.
That-
That
okay.
would have been the answer.
Yeah, but
Can
I
I
thought
get a
that
tick
was
for that at
too
least?
Story-
inappropriate.
that's
to
All
say.
I wanted was a tick.
That was not appropriate for the pod both. What is wrong with you?
I wasn't going to tell everyone
Which-
about that
this
time
is
I caught you
G-rated.
jerking off.
I just wanted
I wasn't
to.
gonna
You know
tell
what
them.
his
Why I
first
just wanted
answer
a
was?
tick.
Ken's actually re-recorded her answer. First answer was
Like,
that
I don't know, it's like maybe clipping his toenails
like,
somewhere inappropriate.
you were
Nah,
clipping
I
your
would
toenails.
never have gotten
That's
that. I
what
would
it
have never
was.
gotten that right.
Well, because I felt, I don't know, I was trying to be nice,
No,
but you
No,
went
you were
and told
nice.
it.
I'm
Well,
giving you-
yeah, I knew that. No, at least get a tick for
I'm
that.
giving
She was
you a
gonna-
big cross for
gonna
your
say
answer,
that.
and I'm giving you a big cross for your decency
For your
on the pod.
behaviour.
That's absolutely
For
sick,
your
mate.
behavior. I cannot believe you told
You should
that
be-
story. You really thought I'd tell that.
You should
Yes, I
shame
did.
yourself.
I did think you'd
Well,
tell
you
that.
shot yourself in the foot on that one.
Yes, I did.
All right,
I did.
8. What is your least favorite part of Bo's body?
Oh,
We're
it
looking for
is.
Ken's least favourite part of you. She loves the legs, apparently.
Yeah. This part would also be inappropriate to say on radio, I guess.
What the hell? What's wrong with you?
You are a sicko.
It's definitely my feet, or actually, can it be nails? Can it be toenails or
Of
fingernails?
course it can. I thought it would have been your massive head, but
Yeah, no.
well, let's find out.
Oh, I don't have a least favorite part of his body.
Lame.
I guess if I had to choose one, I'd definitely say his toenails.
Yes.
Because he lets them just get out of control.
Yeah, I'm seeing a
True, they do.
common theme here.
Yeah, they do.
It's a bit of an issue.
Yeah, get that shit.
Right, this is
This
the
is
last
my
one.
absolute favorite question that I'm really excited and interested to hear your answer.
Oh no,
This should be good.
this is going to be terrible.
Yeah.
If 2 people love each other, how long should they be together before they get engaged?
All right, I'm going to ask the host something here.
Oh,
I have to
no.
answer honestly, obviously. I don't try and guess what Ken
Yeah.
would say.
Yeah.
Well, it's a grey area, you know. It's
Is
not
it
all
though?
black and white. Yeah, it is. It is.
Not
There's
when
a
you really
movie
love
called
someone.
The 5-Year Engagement.
Yeah, but they're engaged. Carry
Yeah,
on,
it's
carry
when you
on.
get
I'm not going to
engaged.
interrupt you.
And judging by everyone that's bloody been getting engaged from our friends, they've been together for probably longer than we have, a little longer.
Dwayne and Hannah haven't been.
Yeah, true. They're the anomaly.
Neither have Heathy and Sophie.
Yeah, they haven't been.
You just need to you need to know for sure.
Yep.
I would say about 6 years.
Wait a second.
Huh?
Can I just say,
Oh, no.
you need to know for sure.
Yeah, what the hell does that
And
mean?
I
You didn't
moved-
make sure.
Sorry,
I
Ken's
moved
only
7,500
make
miles
sure.
over an ocean.
Yeah.
Carry, fine.
7,500 miles.
We're 75% of the way through the...
Shut up. Shut
Jeez,
up.
you're in trouble
Shut
for that
up.
one.
Don't touch me.
Let's see.
If two people love each other, I think that 2 years is a good amount of time to have been together before getting engaged.
Couldn't agree more.
Because I feel like you really know that person by that stage, and especially if you've been living together, you're going to have a great foundation of a relationship, and if you are going to commit to that person, I think 2 years is an appropriate amount of time to have been together.
Ken's has given both of the
you
finger.
sort of... Yeah.
Not in a good way.
There are a lot of people that have gotten engaged, after 2 years, and then it just, falls apart. I'm trying to,
Give me an example.
I'm trying to make an example. I don't know.
What?
Gabby,
Britney Spears and Kevin Federline.
Jeffrey Edelston and Bryn Edelston.
I'm with Ken's on this one, actually.
2 years.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Wait a second.
Shut up.
Can
It's
I just say
no,
something?
No, it is not your
Nah.
time to talk. I think if you're going to commit, you would have done it by then.
Can I say one thing?
That's an interesting...
Jacob's hopping on his high horse here and saying, 2 years is the way. But how long were you and Annie together for?
hang on, this isn't about me. But see, the thing
But
is...
also,
Over 3!
Wait. But it also matters, how old you are. They were in high school. You're not going to get married when
No,
you're
it was after high
friggin'
school.
19.
Some
You
people
shouldn't.
do.
You're not going to get married when you're 19, bro.
You shouldn't.
True.
Well, Ken,
Unless
it's
you're
been
Mormon.
lovely having you. I'm
Yeah,
sure
thanks
this
for
won't
time.
be the last time.
That's it.
Unless you
Well,
decide
I'm
to get a plane ticket after
moving
this.
out now, so...
But we
Well, this
appreciated
was
you participating.
This
Yeah,
was
I
fun.
hope that other people enjoyed that. I got a little bit of a giggle
Yeah,
out of it,
yeah.
that's for sure. So
Thanks,
we
heaps.
got any volunteers to participate in that in the future? We'll see if we can get it
Does
going again.
Anybody else want to break
Love
it
you,
up?
Kens.
Yeah, I love you too.
All right, we've got to talk some footy here. We've got more best bets. We've got 12 best bets from last round to talk about. But first, we'll pay some bills and hear from our sponsor.
Summer bodies are made in the winter. Find F Sanity on Instagram today and train F Sane or stay the same.
And he's not just on Instagram anymore. He's
No.
got a Facebook page.
And he's nearing 100 likes.
Yeah, and
He's doing well. He's doing really
I
well.
always thought that he was a personal trainer, but he's actually marketing himself as a musician
His
now, is
talents go beyond just personal training. And actually, if you want to hop on his Facebook page, Ev Sanity, search it on Facebook, he does live streams of his DJ sets.
Yeah.
And he actually gave us a private stream at about 11:30 last
He said he
night.
just had his shirt off 11 o'clock at night.
Had
just
his
in
shirt off.
in his bedroom. Just
And actually, we were the only view, and then it said 2 views, 3 views, 4 views. So obviously,
Where will
people
it end?
like to like.
yeah,
like
he's got
this,
nearly 100
you know.
likes. You can be his 100th like.
Yep.
So
You be that 100th like.
get involved.
All right, let's start talking some footy. It's been too long.
Yeah, so we had our most ever best bets of any round of the season.
True.
12 best bets. I mean, look at where we've come from when, in round 2 this year we had 1 best bet. I think,
Yeah.
I don't know, people have said we've bitten off more than we can chew. We're getting a bit cocky, but we did win 7 out of 12. And
But the thing we've said all along is that there are weeks where you see a little bit more value than others, and we want to capitalise on those by possibly having, multiple best bets on the same game. So, I mean, last week was a week where we saw a lot of value, and we went 7 and 5, which is pretty good.
yeah, 60%.
That's a pretty good record, and we got awfully unlucky on a couple of games, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, start with Friday night. I mean, Jared Mullen was rumoured to play. He didn't play. Bo Scott, who was really the best player left on the Knights, was injured after 10 minutes. They were absolutely in tatters. They had no real right to be in the game there. We took 14.5, hoping that they would have half a side to put on the field,
Yep.
which they didn't. And they were actually in the game. It was 26-22. I mean, at that point, the live line is under 10,
Yep.
under... Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And
Single
there wasn't
digits.
much time left. There was about 15 minutes
Yeah.
left, and they were down 4. But, I mean,
And
they
you just
were
hope
having
they can
people
hold on
stretch it off left and right, and they had a
Yeah.
skinny team to begin with, so we got unlucky there.
So we lost 2
We
best
got
bets
robbed
there.
with the Dragons, in my opinion, and you can
Yeah.
say all you want, but
3
that
disallowed
is
tries.
not a
phony
knock
winners.
on. That's a forward pass, and you can't rule on that. But anyway, we
100%
let that
let's go.
slide, and then obviously robbed in the Tigers-Panthers under. And I'll
That
tell
was
you, I
absolutely
will tell you
gruesome.
about this one. I didn't watch the game myself, but I was texting Jacob and Evan in the group text, and Jacob said, "Oh no, this is where I know it's going to go downhill. I know we're screwed." And sometimes he texts me that, and it doesn't really mean that we're screwed. It's just like, his mentality. But then I hopped
I don't
on,
like to jinx
looked
it.
at the score, and it was 29-12, which is 41. And I look at the time, 79 minutes, 54 seconds.
We had under 44.
Under 44, and I looked at the time. 79 minutes, 54 seconds. I thought, oh, well, this is looking pretty good. And then it says full time, 29-12, and I thought, oh, yes, the pod wins again. But then no, later on I found out the guff that transpired.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of over it now. Like, I'm taking it in my stride. We've given out, around 80 best bets this year. So you never, we talk about money management. No one best bet makes or breaks you. But we will never win a bet on a play as crazy as that final play.
No.
Literally, they played the ball, and it was 29-12, and there was about 2 seconds left, and the siren went, and they tossed the ball around, and then they dropped it, and Peter Wallace had to dive in the ball, and I thought, all right, game over. I mean, rugby league's a brutal sport. Players get injured every single game. Why would you do any more than you
when
had
you're
to
up
when
17?
when you're up 17? But no, he didn't dive in the ball. He chucked it again, and it seemed like every single player was possessed to the point where their life would be over if they didn't somehow, if that play didn't end in a try. And the Panthers threw it again. Jamie Soward threw a 4-man cutout, and the Tigers intercepted it. And I was
Luke
like,
Brooks intercepted it.
And I just knew something terrible was going to happen. When Brooks intercepted, I thought, oh my God, Tigers have gone the distance to score here. And then they caught him. I'm like, all right, finally the suffering can end. Then he threw it off the ground.
Yep.
Panthers kept it alive. Double intercept try. It must have been about the 83rd minute by the time they dotted down. Simmons gets his 4th try of the game. So, I mean, that could have been an 8-4 round, which is pretty sweet.
Really good round.
4 more winners than losers. But we go 7-5.
And I'll tell you this much. Any time throughout the whole season where we've needed a try in the last minute or the last play, what happens? They throw the ball around a little bit, it gets fumbled, it rolls back 20 metres, and then they dive on it, and it's a knock-on or a pass out of bounds.
Well, how often do you just see a player just kick it into touch? It's actually, it really is sick.
Absolutely. Anyway, we're over that, as you can tell. Let's jump into the round.
Short round this week with Origin looming, just 4 games, but we've still got a fair few best bets.
Still got a few bets for you guys. Got to give the people what they want. Panthers hosting Souths. Souths laying 3.5 points. The total sitting at around 39.5 to 42.
Both these teams got really good wins last week. I mean, the Panthers, we just spoke about their final try, but they only conceded 12 points, and both those tries were off kicks. So this is the Panthers team that I've been talking about all season, finally getting it together with Soward and Wallace, and they've still got Seguiaro and Moylan to come back in the team, but not this week. So they're still not at full strength. Bunnies aren't at full strength either, obviously, with Inglis playing Origin. But other than that, they've got the troops back on deck. Adam Reynolds is back in the team. Glenn Stewart's back. This is a really good team. These are the champs. So I think it's going to be a really good game. I can't really lean aside. I really like the Bunnies now they're healthy. But I'm not going against Penrith because I've been saying they're undervalued all year. When I've got 2 really good sides going up against each other, the team, semi-finals kind of sides, that I expect to make the finals and go a long way, then I'm always looking to the under.
And both these teams need this, to be honest. I mean, Penrith is sitting, are they out of the 8 now, I think?
That's right.
And obviously Souths aren't where they want to be. They would have been expecting a top 4 finish, and they're certainly, it's going to be an uphill battle for them from here. But yeah, I totally agree with you. I see this as, finals type footy. Obviously, without Moylan there, he's worth a few points as well. Inglis, likewise. I see a grinded out type game. I think that Souths win this game, and I've seen sharp money come from Penrith. This line has dropped from a starting point of around 6 to 3.5. I actually really like Penrith to go under 18.5 points. I think Souths are going to be too good for them here, but I still see this as being a low-scoring affair.
What's the highest total we can find on this game?
We can find 42.
42. I'm just thinking, trying to compare that to the try lines that I've seen, because Soward is a really good kicker, and so is Reynolds, that we may have better luck playing under the total tries in this game as well.
Yeah.
And I think the total tries in this game is 8.5. So, do we want to play under 42 and under 8.5 tries, or just the tries? Do you see where I'm coming from there?
I see what you're saying. Yeah. I guess if that's the scenario, what are we looking at? 8.5 tries?
Yeah, that's more than 2 tries per team per half. That's a pretty high number.
Yeah, I'd be more confident with playing under 8.5 tries.
Okay, let's do that.
All right, Bam. You don't like Penrith under 18.5?
I just don't want to go against.
That's fair enough. I think one play is enough on this one. I don't love this game an awful lot, but I see this as being a grind fest. I agree with you, and that's what I see the most. Yeah, I guess I'm most confident in this being a low-scoring game.
Yep.
We got the St George Illawarra Dragons hosting the Cowboys. The Dragons laying 7.5 points, and the total sitting at 40-42.
And we were on the Sharkies early last week.
Yes.
We loved the Sharkies, had a couple of best bets, and it didn't look good.
No.
At halftime, I think it was 18-0. The Sharks looked woeful. And the funny thing is, obviously Thurston didn't play. I felt like that game was more about the Sharks than it was about the Cows. I think the Cows did what they could, but the Sharkies no-showed the first half, and then they finally, put their work pants on and came out in the second half and did a job and scored 24 unanswered and won the game outright. We only needed them to cover. So now the logical thing is to go against the Cows again, because not only are they missing Thurston, they're missing Michael Morgan, they're missing Matt Scott, missing Tarmow, 4 really key players. And that's why St George are short favourites here. People need to understand St George are missing some key players in this game too.
They are.
Jonathan Thurston's the best player in the comp, and it's Dale at second if you ask me, but third is Josh Dugan. Josh Dugan is a game changer, and when they don't have Dugan, they're not the same Dragons. Merrin, in my opinion, is the best lock in the forward. Tyson Frizzell is one of the absolute best up-and-coming second rowers. He's injured. People might not realise that. Jack DeBellin's injured as well. There's a story on NRL.com about the Dragons in an injury crisis. So, to me, I think this is going to be a really even game. I think the Cowboys are going to be smarting off their loss. I know the Dragons have lost 3 in a row as well. But the Cows still have a bit of talent. They're kind of returning Robert Louis, returning Ray Thompson into the team. Still got Lockie Coote. And there's some other stars in that team, like Jason Taumalolo, who can step up and have a good game. I could really see the Cows winning this. We can catch as many as 8.5 points.
Have you found 8.5? I know that they were sitting at about 9.5 earlier in the week.
Yeah, no, it's 8.5.
A little bit of money came
a couple of sites.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah. All right, well, yeah, I mean, even over a converted try, I'd be more than happy to play the Cows here. I think St George struggles to put points on the board, and they've got really good D. I see this being a low-scoring affair, just like the first game. And I said this, before the first Origin. I think I said, look, in Origin week, look for most of the games to go under, and I think they actually did. I think we're sticking with that theory this week, so if we can catch as high as 8.5 points, I'm more than happy to play the Cows in that one. What do you think about the total? I think this is going to be low scoring as well.
Yeah, I agree with you. But when I like a side, we won't lean to the game total, but we'll look to a team total. So we want to look to St George under. And I think that total is around the 24 mark.
Yeah.
I think anywhere between 23.5 and 24.5.
And I think I know what you're going to say next.
Yeah, and so what I look to do in totals is, if the team has a not very good kicker, I like playing teams under the total. But when teams have a really good kicker like Widdop, I'm always nervous, especially I know for a fact St George is a team that will always take the 2 and will back their defence. And when they're racking up, 2s as they go, then they're not going to score as many tries, but they could still score as many points. And that's why I think it's an even sharper play to play the try line for St George, and that is 4.5 tries. So if we can play St George under 4.5, I feel like they could score 26 points in this game, 28 points, and they could kick 3 penalties, and they could still only score 4 tries.
4 tries, yeah, exactly.
And missing like a couple of weapons. Obviously, Merrin's offloading, and Dugan's just electric, explosive plays.
Yeah,
and a really determined Cowboys team that has confidence that they can get a result without their stars, because they did it during Origin 1.
Yeah, exactly.
Down at Leichhardt.
Well, and even last week they put off a good showing without Thurston, obviously.
At least in the first half.
Yeah, this isn't the same St George team that we've seen in the past. Obviously,
we really like St George. We really like
absolutely.
St George.
So we're not. This is more of a bet on North Queensland than it is against St George necessarily, and especially for the future. We'll be looking to bet on St George once they get all their players healthy again. So
definitely.
I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to take the Cows plus 8.5, and I'm happy to take St George under 4.5 tries. Next up, we got the Sea Eagles hosting the Sharkies. Now this line hovering at about 6 points. Manly are favourites, and the total sitting at 40.5 to 42.
Yeah, Manly's got a pretty strong side here. Obviously, we saw surprising news that Daly Cherry Evans was omitted
What do you think about that? Is it surprising? He has been woeful, I think.
I was surprised,
in
and I'm not going to blame him for not having a great game in Origin 2. And, Cooper Cronk's a hell of a player to try and replace. And when I spoke about Dugan and Thurston being the best two in the game, I think Cronk's right there, probably the third best.
Yeah.
But I heard what Mal Meninga said about the selection. I think it's legit. The fact is that Michael Morgan can play fullback. He can play on the wing. He can play in the centres. If you just never know which player's going to get injured, and you have to have a backup plan.
To have a utility there.
Whereas Daly Cherry Evans is really only going to be able to replace a half. I mean, he could go into the centres or into the back row if he had to, but he's not really his suited position.
It'd be a weakness there.
And you don't expect or plan to interchange your halves in a game of Origin.
Mm-hmm.
We expect and we hope that Thurston and Cronk can play 80 minutes each. So having a guy in the number 14 jersey who you can inject on, even for a forward or for a dummy half or anything, just if you're down or if you need, a live wire, I can see that as a good play. Personally, I think Milford is better than Michael Morgan. I would have picked him. But I understand the selection. It does leave Manly with a pretty damn strong team this week. At home, at Brookvale. Obviously, we haven't seen Foran and Cherry Evans play too many games together this year. And when they do, they always have a chance. Cronulla will almost certainly be... Oh, sorry, they will be missing Ennis because he's got the 1 game suspension.
Yeah.
But other than that...
Sneaky.
and he'll probably find his way into Origin, despite really not having the best year.
Yeah.
But...
That's more of a blow than I think people realise.
Yeah, and
he's handling the ball a lot there at dummy half, and obviously that's going to be, just steering them around the park and that sort of thing. It's certainly, that'll hinder them more than people think.
And it still plays 80 minutes and makes tackles. All game, so they'll miss him a little bit. I think they do have a really good chance here, though. Like they've got a few forwards that were on the cusp of Origin, guys like Fafita and Lewis, who are still. Want to prove themselves that they're at the highest level. It's still a really good forward pack, and the backlines come together. They've got a bit of direction from Jack Bird and guys like even Robson and Gordon and Barber's playing better. So this is a team that I think is going to build a bit of momentum. They pulled out a win in Newcastle. Now they've pulled out a win up in Townsville.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to show up. I think it should be an arm wrestle. I don't really want to take the points with Cronulla because I respect the side that Manly's putting on the field. I think Manly has a very good chance to win this game. But that is the side I'm looking to, and then I'm thinking of a grind. Like you said, it's good to go under in the Origin rounds when we don't have the electric, the strike players playing. So why don't we look at Manly? I think with the total, we found the lowest team, or the highest team total, of 24.5, and this is a case where Manly doesn't have a great kicker, whether it's Lyon or whether it's Feliti Mateo kicking. So you like playing them under the points because they'll miss 1 or 2 conversions. Manly could easily win this game. Manly could easily cover, but I think they'll stay under 24.5.
Yeah, I agree. I see a grindfest here as well. Obviously, Manly getting back some key players, but Cronulla's defense is actually pretty decent, and I see them trying to go to war here. I think I don't want to lay 6 points with Manly necessarily because I see a low-scoring game and I hate laying points. Obviously a converted try in a low-scoring game. But at the same time, I don't want to, take 6 points with Cronulla because I just, I have my doubts about how many points they can put on the board as well. Definitely. So I can easily see, Manly going under 24.5, but still covering, this line even. So that's why I wouldn't take Cronulla. So yeah, I think that's a good bet, Manly under 24.5. But I think that's probably the only play that I would be happy with taking for that game.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm just a little bit iffy. I'm iffy about taking either side, but I see a low-scoring game, and the line's about right. But yeah, you're right.
Well, betting on Manly under 24.5 is kind of like betting on the Sharks. But I think it's a better way to go because if you prefer to just take Sharks plus 6, then you really need the Sharks to score over 18.
Yeah,
you need to be confident they're going to score over 18,
which I don't think we are. Yeah, I agree. Next up, we got the Tigers hosting the Eels. This line sitting at 3.5 to 4 point favourites for Parramatta, and the total sitting at 42 to 44.
Yeah, and it's not the best spot to take the Tigers. The much maligned Tigers. I feel like we've been on them more often than not this season, and they've probably burned us more often than not.
I think so.
We've got to pick our spots, and we've been saying that the Eels are going to present some value for people. And of course, they burned us last week as well.
The Tigers have burned us when we've bet on them, and the Paras burned us when we've bet against them.
Yeah, but let's not overthink it. Let's not go against what we know. That's actually what makes this a pretty good spot, just to take West. We feel like West are the better side here. They're at home. Well, to be honest, when two Sydney sides play each other, I don't really factor in home field advantage. But, neutral field, even if you want to say that, I think the West Tigers are the better team, and you're getting points. You've almost, you don't overthink it after that. Now, I'll admit that we're missing Robbie Farah, Aaron Woods, a couple of injuries in the back line in Simona and Nofaluma. No foul on your mama.
No foul on your mama.
I mean, I don't love taking them there, but the Eels are missing, of course, Hopewadi. They're missing Reece Robinson, Nathan Peets, and a few other guys as well. One of the Powley brothers as well. So they're pretty beat up. Should be a close game. I could easily see the Eels winning this game, but I'm going to be happy to take the 4.5 with probably the slightly better side. Still got Tedesco, still got Luke Brooks. No excuse for this team.
Yeah,
they should find a way to win.
Yeah, I agree. And you've seen 4.5, have you?
Yeah.
Because I looked at this game actually before the rounds, or before last week's round was done, and I think the line was sitting at about 1.5, which in my eyes was around the right sort of line for the Tigers being at home. And I think they're the better side. And this line sort of drifted, and we've been saying this for a little while that we just need to get back to our roots. Parramatta had a big win over the Dragons on Saturday night. Everyone watched that, and everyone saw the Tigers get absolutely pummeled by the Panthers last week. So that's where the line move has come, that 3-point line move, and I think we're getting extra added value there. So I even like the Tigers when the line was 1.5, and I like it even more now. So I'm more than happy to take that, take the 4.5. I also like the Parramatta side to go under.
The total.
I'm not sure what you can find here.
Well, again, when you
it's
got
the
a high
highest total of the round.
When you got a high total, you're looking to play under. But if you like a side, you're looking for one side to go under. I think the highest total I've seen on the Eels anywhere between 23 and 24.5.
Yep.
And again, I like that because I think we've said, and we haven't really been proven right, but we've said that the Wests are focusing on D.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see some D.
They didn't do it last week. And
so we're going to get back to our roots on this game. I mean, after that perfect partners segment, especially that engagement answer, I don't know if you'll be getting back to your roots anytime soon.
No,
but
probably not.
We'll see.
No.
What do you reckon, Kens?
No, it was a muffled no. So we're taking the Tigers plus 4.5, and we're taking Para under 24.5. I like that a lot. Yeah, and I'm not sure if it's just steam. Or obviously just the public hopping on the Eels bandwagon, but the Tigers are the better side here.
Now, trust your judgment. Sometimes you've got a number in your mind and the number's out there, and someone will say 2, whether it's 2 points or 2 years, and someone else will see it as 6.
Yeah.
That seems like a pretty big disparity. 4 years or 4 points, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But you've got to play at what you see. You've got to trust your judgment there.
Yep, agreed.
And sometimes you're going to be proven to be wrong, and you're going to get left caught with your pants down. But that's life, isn't it?
True. All right, well...
you want me to wrap it up?
That'll wrap it up like Heathy doesn't. Do you want to summarise the best bets?
Sure thing. So Friday night, Penrith Souths play the game total tries under 8.5. On the Saturday, we're taking the Cows plus 8.5. I think you could even sprinkle a little on the money line there.
Yeah.
I think they're a chance of pulling an upset there. We're a bit iffy on the Manly
Don't sprinkle
Sharks.
too much, though. When we say sprinkle, we mean a little.
Yeah, just a little bit of Parmesan.
Yeah, the 8.5's where the value is. So
that's right.
Put the bulk of your money on that one.
100%. We're iffy on the Manly Sharks game, but we do expect an arm wrestle. So take Manly under 24.5. That's quite a few points for a team that doesn't have a great kicker. We're taking West plus 4.5. They've burned us many times. They'll probably burn us again, but they're the bright side in this game. And the Eels under 24.5, going hand in hand. We expect the West to come out with a good defensive effort after conceding 35 last week.
So what's that? 6 for this round?
6 best bets. So even
the half dozen.
Yeah, and there's only half as many games. So we're confident. We're hitting at 60% every week in NRL, closer to 70% in other sports.
Yep.
So no shame in our record, but we really do think maybe one week we'll get some luck.
Oh, you'd think
What do you
so,
reckon?
wouldn't you? Well, it's a big week for the pod this week as well. Obviously, we've got Put Your Tip Where Your Mouth Is. We've taken a little bit of a break from letting the carryover champion go for next week, and we're bringing in the redemption round. Now, we've introduced this last week.
Too many Kiwis.
Too many
kept
Kiwis.
winning.
We needed to bring the trophy back home. So
Bring
this
it
week,
back.
you gotta give me some back. So now we've got 10. That's right. Count them up. 10.
Count them.
10 contestants that have lost in the past. 10 fan favourites. They're going to be going head to head with the top 3 going through to next week's Put Your Tip Where Your Mouth Is.
Yeah, so looking forward to that. So check it out. 10 different guys, all different sports, all different best bets.
Get some banter going. Get behind your favourite contestant.
Yeah.
Obviously, throw a little bit of smack around.
Tell
We
us who you're
love to
backing.
see that.
We got. Do you want me to name the contestants? Give them a shout
Why
out.
not?
Tommy Lassie. Half of our take on Tom and BMoz.
They got pretty
which is
close
also-
last week. I think they were 2 from 2.
Yeah.
They had 4 bets. And then
So how were they 2 from 2?
they were 2 from their first 2.
Oh, right you are.
That's how Dwiney says it.
Yeah.
When he went 3 from 3,
Yeah, he was 3 from
actually
3.
3 from 5.
3 from 3 out of all his winning bets.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Pev Sanity is back. He's been a
back.
former guest on the pod. He's a fan favourite. We've got Michael Mix Picks, or as our graphics department have named him, 0-15 Dwan.
Yep.
So he's back. He's been in the wilderness.
He's taken
Still don't know.
he's come out of his break from betting.
Yeah.
And to join Put Your Tip Where Your Mouth Is.
We're still not sure what's going on with Mike, but it's good of him to get back back on the horse, so to speak. Although he hasn't picked any horses this
Which
week.
is strange.
We'll see how that serves him. We've got Germ. Germ's my favourite, to be honest. I'm going to say if
You
I
like
have
his
tip
bet
someone
slip?
to win... Oh, I don't mind his bet slip either. I just mean favourite person.
Oh, okay.
He's a good bloke, man.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. No, I'm back in Germ this week, but he's also been on the pod, of course, coach of Brothers, Ipswich Rugby League team, and we'll have him back on the pod. You got King James from across
That's
the ditch.
who my money's on.
I don't know, should we be allowing another Kiwi in our comp? We've had too many
He's
winners.
one of the boys. He's been over here. He went with us to where did we go?
Yeah, he came to Falls
Came
Fest
to Falls Festival with us.
So he probably knows us as well as anyone, and he's won it before. He can't do it again. Ev Sanity's back.
Yep.
The original contestant. He lost to Mick first time round.
In a war of words, that was.
Yeah, and he even considered that he should have his own segment on the pod at some stages. I think he got one football bet right. Like he said Liverpool would win, and we said, all right, we'll take them with the handicap plus half a goal. It was a draw.
Yep.
And next thing he thought it was Rain Man, and he
Yeah.
was giving out tips left, right, and centre on Premier League, and not really winning too many. Winning bets isn't something that's easy to do. We got Dobbo, man. He's another one of my favourites. I think he's got an awesome shot here, and he likes the Cowboys this week. Which so do we.
Sharp
so
bloke.
anytime you're with the pod,
So you got him just to win, has he? Or
that's
what's
a
he got
sharp
there?
side. He's got him 1-12, which I don't mind that.
A lot of margin bets this week.
Yeah, people are
for
playing
the extra
margin.
value.
So check this out, because if you're watching the footy, it's got a lot of implications for Put Your Tip Where Your Mouth Is this week. We've got BMoz, the other half of our AFL tipping duo. He's got some
some
bets as
AFL
well.
in there, no
AFL
doubt.
bets, so check that out, and I think he's got a horse in there too. Of course, we've got the Bareback Bandit.
Yes.
He's back. He's a former champ as well. And he's not tarping up this week. Or actually, he has got a horse to place, which is unlike him.
Yeah, that isn't. Yeah, usually just goes all out.
That's it. And Westy. Wild Westy.
From the Wild West.
Actually, he's another favourite of mine.
So you got the Dockers in there or something?
He's got a few bets out of left field, really.
Yeah, right.
Westy.
No, he's good. He's
taking
good.
the Porty boys. Port Adelaide Power. I know he's a big fan.
Yeah.
So, it should be exciting. Get involved,
It's gonna
check
be good.
it out, and stir up a bit of banter. It's
Yeah,
always a bit of
definitely.
fun.
We always like to hear a little bit of banter.
Yeah, and I guess...
Tell your friends about it.
And as you know, Mick quit, but we're not looking back. We've got, as you just said before, Tom and BMoz. They got 2 out of 4 right, and I think they were all at decent odds last week. They know their stuff.
They're really good. They know their stuff. They're in a group chat with us, and we always hear them sort of, doing their research, speaking amongst themselves. So
we're
they put the hard work in. So I think
Yeah.
it won't be too long before they get
And one
they
of
pick a
the
winner.
really important things about handicapping and betting on sports is knowing your strengths, but also knowing your weaknesses. And neither of us pretends to have a great expertise in AFL, and we still understand betting trends and market moves and general theories that can help us make money betting any sport. But it really helps to have someone who you can turn to who knows about the personnel and the players and form and things like that. We ask these guys a lot of questions about AFL, and they've helped us make money this season, and they're there for you to ask as well. So
absolutely.
get on their posts and get involved in that too.
Definitely. That'd be it. Would that be it for it?
That's
for
it.
this
Good
round.
luck. Thanks again, Kens. Thanks for all your help that you give the pod.
Shout out to Kens.
Thank you.
Brisbane Backpackers.
Yeah, Brisbane Backpackers. Big Wheels Truck Alignment, Ev Sanity, James King Art. Thank you all for helping us.
It's going to be a big week.
But
any last words, Kens?
No.
I'm going on a jet plane, leaving on a jet plane.
Oh, Jesus. Please gamble responsibly.